guys, my name is Mark from jazzguitarlessons.net. Welcome to this short, really hands-on video where we will tackle some of the most common and well-known bebop licks. So a lot of guys say, yeah, I know the bebop scale, Mark, I'm learning these Parker heads, the chords come by too fast, what should I do? Alright, so let's look at three really key licks, two or three with variations at least, and we'll just start and we'll be in the key of D. So this is D7 chord, D9. Alright, and then we're going to start with a D note and descend the classic chromatic line that's in that key. So if you play the entire scale, you would go. And the bebop lick, the first thing I personally learned that's from the Perry Harris and David Baker tradition is this. Again, slowly. One last time. Something like that. So the thing with bebop scales, people start to learn these chromatic rules. If you're on a chord tone, descend and don't do this with a triplet and whatever. You can, of course, work on all of this. But what matters, I think, is the ability to extend an 8-note line and to spring off and sort of stop the line at some point. That's the essence of what you can find in David Baker, How to Play Bebop, which I recommend if you read music. Pretty heavy book. But let's summarize some of this stuff here. So after you got the basic lick down, there are ways that you can go about first adding a different note to spring off of it. So instead of ba da 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 do, you can go da da do da. So that's an E. Ba da do da da do. Again, da da do da da do. One last time. Already you hear you're getting more flavors and more different notes across this little bebop lick. And then in David Baker's book, actually, he says, well, you can also add 2 notes at the end. So ba 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 ti ba. So say we take the original. So you sort of have this little motion that you throw it up in the air to signify that you ended your line. So let's do it again. And then what if we took the top note, the E instead? So ba da da. And then once more. So this sounds like nothing now, but if you had lines that were going and you sort of suddenly ended that way, it would really change the way you can look at the vocabulary and the way the chords go by and the way you tackle these chords. It would give a fresh air of the rhythm, or the boppiness of it comes from a lot of the rhythm. So if you're still sticking around, you're more advanced and you got all this remark, that's all fair and good. What else could we do with that? Well, of course, we took this for a spin on a D7 chord, and then you can go, or you can be. Right, you can sort of just start to vary and push the rhythms around. And one of the things I did also that I wanted to point out, I went here. So that's an A note, and the A note is not the da 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 da, but I replicated the lick, and I just started right on a sort of D major blues line. So you can look at the pa ba 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 gesture and apply it on different scale degrees. You might go, I don't want to start on here. I want to start. And then you see I did an arpeggio with a flat 9 at the top and a sharp 9. So you just let it roam and let the stuff that you've already practiced come out freely to extend your lines and then end with a snap like this. You can start to employ different scale degrees, but also you can look at it from a different perspective. If it works on a D9, it will work on an A minor as well, the 2-5 motion, right? So your A minor, now it sounds completely different. What if you did it on an A blues? Right? So the gesture is more important than the actual note choices that you have. And lastly, there's one more that you can do, just a quick Google search, just type in the lick. And then there's like a collection of like 20 solos that use that. It's a common lick. I made a video about this, and it would also fit the context. So let me just maybe run it by you. So after you got beba bedabo, beba beabo, and beba bedabo debop, after you got those, then you might look into this guy. So E, A, and then people will add variations like. So you can let your imagination roam free on those, and also just in passing and as a closing note, because I want to make this a really snappy and short video so you can go off yourself and explore. One of the things that I like to do is descend into an arpeggio. So I did early on in my introduction to the video, I go like... So I'm like, oh, here's a D7. And I just attempt to go and resolve it down to the 1, which would be the G chord, which we're only assuming that exists because it's just lines in space, right? So one thing I would do is something, even with a sharp 9. And now you resolve on that note. So the bebop lines like this and the licks, it's less to be harmonically correct, like a game of chess, that I'm going to plug and play these lines because they fit over the chords, and more about the dynamic texture. That's what's fun with looking at Charlie Parker solos. It's just, oh man, how come did I not think of using the scale this way? But not because it's very sophisticated, but because rhythmically it's kind of all over the place, but in a really interesting fashion, right? So that's the essence of learning licks. So just to recap, let's go for the most basic D7, D9 version of the bebop lick. And then more advanced. And then with the snappy ending. And now the lick. And on that note, I will let you go, guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I look at my data and I know that about 2/3 of you are watching, but you are not subscribed. This is free. This is absolutely free. And I still come across students that have been watching my videos on YouTube for like 5 years, and they go, hey Mark, that snippet, that thing you said in 2 minutes, it blew my mind and it changed my playing forever. So take your chance. It's just like the lottery. Maybe next time you're going to meet something that's going to transform your playing forever. So you want to make sure to stay tuned to get all the new videos, the shorts, the newsletters, and the stuff. Head over to the blog, jazzguitarlessons.net. Subscribe, get the newsletter. I don't bug you guys too much. I just send you good stuff. So I will see you soon on this. And of course, improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher. Take care. See you next time.